pick up where we left off with Word Unit A. And let's talk about moving around a document. Now, everybody knows, most everybody knows, that you can scroll down with your mouse and you can keep going down. You can also use your scroll bar here. But there's some other ways that you can move around a document. And if you're up at the top of a document, if you hold your control key down and press your home key, press your end key, that's going to go down to the very end of the document, so the end. So now that we're at the bottom, let's press control and home. That will take you up to the top of the document. You also can use your page up and page down buttons. There's your page down, there's your page up, and there's also Control G, and you can tell it what page you want to go to if you have a large document, what line, or if you have footnotes or comments or anything, you can go there. So moving around a document can be nice and easy. Also, if you click way over here in the upper right hand corner and you click find and you're searching for a certain word, like I'm going to search for cultural, and if I tell it by cultural, look there it is right there. It goes straight to that word. So if you know a specific word you're looking for, that's a nice easy way. If you go find. Okay, now I'm going to close this navigation pane so I have more of the screen. You can also move things around. If I want to move this guiding principles right here, and I want to move it down to this line down here where it says issues, I can do several things. I can highlight this guiding principles. Right up here in the upper left-hand corner, I can click cut. Then I can go down where I want it, get some spaces there, and I can click paste right up here in the upper left-hand corner. Now, see, I have no header up here, and I have both of these headers down here. I'm going to click Control Z to undo what I just did because I want to show you a little bit easier way. I told you I believe in shortcuts. So let's go ahead. I'm going to highlight this whole line to cut some text or a picture or a table, whatever you do. Hold your control key down and press X. That is your cut. I'm going to go back down here and Control V is your paste. So that's a nice easy way to cut and paste it. I'm going to press Control Z again. I also I've got it highlighted. I can left click, hold it down, and drag it down there. So you can that's called drag and drop. You can also drag and drop information. Let's put it back up there. Now, what happens if I want to copy something? If I want to copy this same thing and have it in two places, I'm going to click copy here and put it down here. And I'm going to paste it. See, the difference is you now have it in both places. That's the only difference. Now, to do that using shortcuts, I can highlight that whole line, Control C to copy, and go down where I want it, Control V to paste. So Control C is your copy, Control V is your paste once again. There is also what you have to be careful of when you're pasting. There's different ways that you can paste it. If you go up here in the upper left-hand corner, if you click on this down arrow, there's different ways. You can keep the source formatting, merge the formatting, or keep text only. So what that means is if I have this formatted differently up here than I want it here, so if I had this formatted in bold and I had it larger and I wanted to copy this, Control C, I want to go down here, I want to paste. When I scroll over these options, this will tell me how it will look. I have my choice of how I want it pasted. If I want it pasted exactly the same, there I go. So that's your copy and paste and your cut and paste. Now, if you have Word, well, all of the Microsoft Office documents have two different types of clipboards where everything you cut and paste, you copy and paste, goes onto that clipboard to remember those keystrokes. Right up here in the upper left, where it says the clipboard group of the this home tab, if you click on this down arrow, it will open up your clipboard. Now you see in here in the clipboard, the last thing I pasted or cut was this Word's Guiding Principles. Now, if I want to copy this or cut this, you see what happens in your clipboard. The very first, these go in the most recent order on top. So that I cut is on top. If I want the guiding principles there, see if I click on that, it's going to insert it there. This is another way that you can insert information. So if I want that guiding principles down here also, or say I want the years of population growth, I click on that, it will bring it in wherever my insertion point is. Now, I said there's two different types of clipboards. On this clipboard, this is called the Office clipboard, and it is the last 24 items that you did. The System clipboard has only one item, and that is the very last thing that you did, whether it be to cut text, cut a picture, copy a picture, insert a picture, whatever it is. Now, if I were to go up here to the top and I say this is the town of Arlington, but what I really want to do is I want to change it to the town of Fresno. So everywhere in here that it says Arlington, I want to change it to Fresno. And that looks like it's going to be quite a few. If I go up here to the upper right-hand corner and I click Replace, and I type in Arlington, okay, and replace it with Fresno. I can do this several ways. I can find the next instance where it says Arlington, and I move this around so you can see it. See, it's highlighted Arlington. Okay, go ahead and replace it. There's another instance where it says Arlington. I can choose to replace it, or I don't have to replace it. So I can go, there's another one. If you know that you want to change it in every single instance, then all you have to do is click Replace All, and it will tell you how many instances of Arlington that it found and replaced with Fresno. So everywhere I go in here, there's Fresno. Everywhere I go, and instead of Arlington, it's Fresno. The shortcuts for this is Control H is the replace, and Control F is find. So instead of going up here to the corner and finding this, go to the find button. You can just press Control F. So if I do that, hold the Control key down and press F, it's going to go to the find. And if I press Control H, it's going to go to the replace. So sometimes you may want to go, you have a very large document. Even you can play with this on the syllabus if you load that from Blackboard. And it's a large document, and you want to take a look at part of it or two parts at the same time. You can split the window that you want to look at this, look at the document. If you go to your View tab, right here is your split. And you can place this line anywhere you want to. So say you have the introduction here. See how that window is going? And you see the rest of it there while the bottom stays fixed. If I want the top here, but I want to see the second page in this bottom document. I have to click in there, put your insertion point, scroll down with your mouse or with your scroll bar, whatever you want. So that is your split. Now, to remove this split, just go back up here to the View button, go Remove Split, and your document is all in one. I need to warn you that one of the first things I do when I get Word documents from you is I run it across to spell checker to make sure that you took time at the very end of whatever you're doing to spell check your documents. That is a critical process in the process of creating a document. So in order to spell check your document, you are going to go to the Review button, then to your spelling and grammar, and you will go through here one at a time. The important thing is that you need to take a look at this and see which of these suggestions is the right suggestion. In your independent challenge that we're going to do, you need to look real closely because there's one that will try and trick you. It's also going to tell you when there's spacing, when there's a problem. It says extra spacing between words. I can ignore this. Opportunities, spelled wrong. I can change this. Office of State, what? Planning, maybe? So I can also go in here and say, I can type right up here. Planning. How's that? Now I can resume it. And it tells me my spell checker is done. I want to show you something that is pretty cool. I think it is. It's in your book, but it's not really well explained. How many times do you type the same thing over and over again? Like I type out Fresno City College. Okay, instead of having to type all of that out, how would you like it if you just put in FCC and it types out the whole thing for you? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. You're going to go up here to File, and you're going to go here to Options. And in Options, you're going to go to Proofing and to Autocorrect Options. Now, you can add things in here. You can add things basically to your dictionary into the autocorrect. So if I put FCC, and be careful because this is case sensitive, and every time I type FCC, I want it to put in Fresno City College. Be careful. You must click this Add button. If you just go down here and click OK, it's not saved. Click the Add button and click OK. And I'm going to close this Options. Now if I type FCC and press Enter, look at what it does. You can do the same thing with your initials. You can do it with whatever you want to do it with. Another thing I want to warn you about on top of the spell checking and everything, if you go to the Backstage view, which you click on the File button, and you check here to the information, if you look over here under the properties, some of these properties here, it's going to tell you when the file was created. It's going to tell you the author. You can see here where it says Ken, which is my husband. He created the file, or else he was on the computer that created the file. I can go down here to show all properties, and there's a little bit more here. These versions tells you how many times it's been used and saved. Permissions, you can create this as copy protected. You can add a password to it. You can also check for issues. If there's any issues, you can inspect the document to see if there's personal hidden information. I can tell you that one thing that I do, which I catch a lot of students at, if I suspect that they are copying each other's papers, I'll go to this Backstage view and I'll look at who created it and when it was created, so that I can see who it was that really created this file. So that's the last of my warnings for right now. Go ahead and keep going with your Word Unit B, and you can do your bookwork and all of that, and you